What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive in and talk about Week 4 matchups, predictions, and really kind of provide a breakdown and see where we're at within the season. Also, we're going to talk about our Week 3 predictions and how well we did. I do have to give myself a pat on the back, guys. Holy smokes, 13-3 on the week in predictions. I feel pretty confident in that. You know, obviously I'm gonna be picking my Kansas City Chiefs every time, and unfortunately they took an L again this week. But you know, it is what it is. I'm super excited to continue and provide this video to you guys because I've found a new platform through my SIA network that I've been working with, and we're going to be doing a new introduction. We're going to be talking money lines, over and unders, things like that, and it's all going to be in this. So let's jump right in. But before we do, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below, and make sure you guys comment and let me know what you guys think. How are you guys doing? How's your fantasies going? I love to interact and see what you guys think and what you guys are doing for sure. So let's jump into this. I'm going to pull up the screen, and we are going to go over Week 3 really quick. I did go 13-3, ladies and gentlemen, on predictions like I stated. So I'm excited to provide this to you. I'm going to go full screen. There we go. So first game up was Thursday Night Football. Carolina versus Houston. Carolina won 24-9. We did predict that correct. Buffalo started out the week Sunday matchup 43-21. You know, Josh Allen put it on, and it was nice to see. Chicago at Cleveland. Cleveland won 26-6. Justin Fields could not throw over. I mean, I don't think he cracked 70 yards in offense. I mean, that's incredible. Baltimore at Detroit, that was finished on a record. That was Justin Tucker's 66-yard field goal that doinked in. It was an incredible watch. If you have not seen it, go watch it. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Tennessee won 25-16. Again, Los Angeles at Kansas City, 30-24 on a late interception that sealed the deal for the Chargers. New Orleans at New England. New England won 28-13. Atlanta at New York. Atlanta won 17-14. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, 24-10. And then Arizona at Jacksonville. Arizona won 31-19. New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. Denver won 26-0. Miami at Las Vegas. Las Vegas would pull it out in OT. That kind of, you know, the Dolphins really came back into that game late, and that's what caused the OT. And then, you know, it really came down to where it was almost a tie. Tampa at the Rams, that was an incredible game. The Rams really just, you know, it's like they found another gear with Matt Stafford and, you know, Sean McVay and those two clicking and being able to really run that offense. That it's going to be amazing to see how the Rams continue to move forward. Seattle at Minnesota. Minnesota squeaked one out. They were on the verge of going 0-3. Green Bay at San Francisco. Holy smokes. You can't leave Aaron Rodgers anytime. He had like 30-something seconds left. Drove down to midfield, and Mason Crosby kicked the field goal and won the game. It was an incredible Sunday Night Football game. And then finally, Monday Night Football was a blowout. I mean, just be honest. Philadelphia at Dallas. Dallas really poured it on. I was able to watch the Manning broadcast. That was actually pretty solid. I really enjoyed that. It's something that I probably wouldn't watch every time, but I really enjoy hearing Peyton break down the X's and O's and kind of the banter between him and Eli. So now what we're going to do is jump over to Week 4. And so again, predictions were 13-3. I'm going to go ahead and I'll have the overall record posted right here. Right now, I've predicted 32 correct and 16 wrong, and that's been since Week 1. So hopefully we can continue to improve that, and we'll see what happens. So this week, we're jumping into Week 4, and I got to make sure that I pull up my predictions. That way I give you guys the most accurate information. So Jacksonville at Cincinnati is going to be the first matchup on Thursday. I went ahead and picked not Jacksonville. The Bengals, there is an over-under of 45.5. I predicted that it would be under. I just think that both teams really haven't, obviously the Jacksonville Jaguars are still trying to figure out an identity. They have Trevor Lawrence. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. James Robinson finally had a game himself. Cincinnati is starting to click on offense, and it would be nice to see them really pour it on. I just don't think they will quite yet. So I believe that they will actually hit the under at 45.5. The next game is Washington at Atlanta. I did pick Washington to win that football game. It is in Atlanta and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Taylor Heinicke, I've been a fan of him. I think he's been playing pretty well. They do have some pretty, offensive weapons on that team. I picked Washington. They had a 47.5 over and under. I picked the under. I just don't think that that's going to hit that. I think Atlanta is going to be desperate towards the end, possibly. And, that's where if they do surpass that, it would be at that point. But I think Washington gets a comfortable lead and then really feeds Antonio Gibson and maybe J.D. McKissick. So we'll just have to see. Houston at Buffalo. I went ahead and picked Buffalo in that one. I think, it's in Orchard Park in Buffalo. Houston is another team that's, struggling to find an identity. They have Mills coming in as their quarterback. Tyrod Taylor, I believe, is on the IR. They have some veteran running backs. Brandon Cooks is still, doing his thing, but I just don't think Houston has it. And Buffalo, coming off that game last week, is raring to go. So they have an over-under of 48.5. I did pick the under. I think, again, this is another example where Buffalo gets a comfortable lead and, they may hand it off to Devin Singletary or they give it to Zach Moss and really kind of do that. I just don't think that they surpass the 48.5. The next game is going to be Detroit at Chicago. Detroit has played some very good football. I wrote an article on who potentially could be the worst team out of the 0-3 teams because Detroit is 0-3. To me, I feel like Detroit's just missing a few pieces. They did cut Jamie Collins, excuse me. And so that's a big, leader off of that defense. I just kind of think that they are missing a few pieces on that defense. And maybe they could start to click. Their offense, TJ Hawkinson's been eating. They have Cephas on there. So we'll have to see. I did pick the Lions to beat Chicago. I did pick the under of 42.5. So we'll just have to see that game. I don't think a lot of people are going to be overly interested except for, obviously, the fan bases there. But Soldier Field in Chicago, it sounds like Chicago did make a purchase of some land or an area, and they might actually be moving out of Soldier Field. So a lot of good information on that. Next game up is Carolina at Dallas. Carolina is undefeated. Dallas is playing extremely, extremely good football. I like what Carolina has been doing this year, but I went ahead and picked Dallas. I just think Dallas has been playing extremely, extremely well, coming off of just a whooping of the Eagles on Monday Night Football. The over-under was 50.5. I did pick the under. I could be wrong on that just because if Carolina can click, Sam Darnold's hitting guys like Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore and, Marshall and some of those guys, then maybe this is the case because they will be without McCaffrey and Chuba Hubbard's going to have to step up. So we'll just have to see. Plus, that defense took a hit with Horn going down. They do go trade for CJ Henderson, but he's obviously probably not going to be ready to play quite yet. And the way Dallas has just, again, been playing, I just think that Dallas can win this football game. The next game is Indianapolis at Miami. I did pick Miami. Indianapolis is one of those 0-3 teams. Jacoby Brissett played well. This is his former team. And I just think that, Miami has a little bit more going for them. I think their defense is just a little under what the Colts have. They have a stud corner in Xavier Howard. Their running backs are okay. I feel like Indianapolis is relying a lot on the performance of Carson Wentz again, and that's kind of what was going on when he was in Philly. Jonathan Taylor, he can run the rock. He can do some special things. And they also, have other weapons. Paris Campbell. I mean, there's a list of weapons that he has. The defense is in my opinion, still one of the best. But I just think Miami can pull this out. It is in Miami. The next game is going to be Cleveland at Minnesota. And, again, Minnesota was on the cusp of being one of those 0-3 teams. This is going to be in US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. That crowd's probably going to be rocking, but I picked the Cleveland Browns. The over-under for that was 53.5. I did pick the under. You guys will see I picked quite a few unders. I say that now, but towards the end, there's a lot of overs. I just think Cleveland is doing some good things. I get that Jarvis Landry's on the IR. Odell's back. The two-headed monster in the backfield. Baker's been pretty good. And I just think that defense is starting to come around more and more. So it's going to be a tough matchup for sure, covering Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and just seeing how they can cover them. But we'll just have to see. I did pick Cleveland in that game. New York at New Orleans. And the Giants are one of those 0-3 teams. The Saints have kind of been a mixed situation there. You get the best of Jameis Winston, and then you get the worst. I don't think that you're going to get the worst in this situation. The Giants, it's just unfortunate. I mean, it's all on paper, and I wrote about this in an article on SIA Network. The Giants literally are just well-rounded on paper. It's just like they're not performing. I don't know if it's the head coaching situation. I don't have an answer for that, but I did pick the Saints in this. The over-under was 42.5. I picked the under. I just think this is a perfect example of the Saints getting a well-established lead, and you're forcing the New York Giants to really make a comeback. And if they were to surpass the over, it would be because of that situation. Tennessee at the Jets. Jets are another 0-3 team. Zach Wilson, I'm a big fan. I just think that he is making a lot of rookie mistakes. And he has the weapons, Corey Davis, obviously, Denzel Mims. I mean, he has some weapons. They don't have an established run game. Ty Johnson, I think, is expected to step up. Jamison Crowder, I believe, is there. And so there's a lot of question marks around the run game. The defense is very suspect after losing Jamal Adams and some of the veteran leadership there. They just don't really have a solid defense. And I picked Tennessee in this. I think Derrick Henry is going to feast. And then you also have Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. And, Ryan Tannehill, if he does not make any mistakes in this game, could have a very fantastic game. I did pick Tennessee. I did pick the over on this. It was 45.5. I think that the Tennessee Titans pour it on. I really, really believe that. The next game is going to be Kansas City at Philadelphia. Kansas City's coming off of back-to-back losses. There's a lot of question marks on their defense. Patrick Mahomes has made quite a few very eye-opening mistakes in very clutch situations. There's just been a lot of pressure put on this team, especially after going to the Super Bowl back-to-back years, and some high expectations are set. I'm definitely going to break down the last game video and really kind of talk about it, but I think that this is for sure a rebound game. We saw how Philly played in Dallas, and I just think that they're missing a few things. Jalen Hurts, has made some mistakes for sure. He talked about flushing it down. So I think Kansas City rebounds. The over-under on this one was 54.5. I picked the over on this one. Kansas City is going to pour it on, I believe. I think Kansas City needs to get out there and really just establish every person that they need to establish. Clyde Edwards-Helaire needs to have a good game. Tyreek needs to have a good game. Travis Kelce needs to have a good game. Even the bag of receivers that you have in, and Demarcus Robinson, Pringle, Hardman, those types of guys need to go off as well. I just think that they need to pour it on, and Andy's going for a big win here, and it happens to be in Philly. So I think that this is an over situation of 54.5. Arizona at the Rams. This is going to be an incredible matchup. I'm super excited for this. I'm low-key a big Cardinals fan, but I really, really like what the Rams are doing with Matt Stafford and Sean McVay. I really like it. It is in SoFi Stadium, and the over-under 54.5. I picked the over. I think this is going to be, I could see it being like a 21-24 type of game, but I also can see it just going like insane as well, like just scoring after scoring to keep up. And I picked the Cardinals in this game. I think that, I like what the Cardinals are able to do, and I just think that Kyler has such ability that if he needs to do whatever he needs to do, I think he can do it. and win this football game. So I picked the Cardinals. We'll have to see. I could see it going the other way, but my heart goes with the Cardinals on this one. The next game is going to be Seattle at San Francisco. And Seattle has kind of had their mixed games as well. It seemed like they're early on, they were relying heavy on Tyler Lockett. This week, they relied a lot on DK Metcalf. And, it's all about Russ and being protected in the pocket. Their defense is still kind of, it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. San Francisco, led by Jimmy G, they've been going through running backs left and right. And I still think that there's some question marks in some areas. They were able to drive. They had a great game-ending drive against the Packers, and the defense just couldn't stop them at all. And the Packers were easily able to drive the midfield, make a couple plays, spike the ball, kick the football, and win the game. So there are some question marks. I did pick, where is this game on here? I picked Green Bay to win that game. Oh, nope, wrong one. Seattle and San Francisco. I picked Seattle, excuse me. I did actually pick Seattle in this game. I picked the under of 51.5. I think it'll be interesting. I think Russ can do it. I really do. Next game, Baltimore at Denver. Baltimore at Denver. Denver's 3-0. This is going to be their first true opponent. I believe the first three opponents for Denver were 0-9, and just really had not put up any points at all. I actually did pick Denver to win this football game. After seeing how Baltimore played against the Lions, to see how they played against, in all honesty, the Chiefs, and to see how they opened up the season against the Raiders, I still have a lot of question marks. They're dealing with a ton of injuries. I just honestly believe that Denver is clicking now. They have everything in place. Bradley Chubb, I do believe, is on the IR, but Von Miller is playing at an elite level. The over-under was 44.5. I did pick the over in this one. I think it's going to come down to Teddy Bridgewater and his ability to maybe not be as conservative in this game. I think he's going to have to kind of step it up a little bit to keep up. If Baltimore does gain a lead, he's going to have to really kind of be aggressive. So it'll come down to Teddy for me. But I like this defense. I mean, the defense in Denver has really kind of been noticeable. And it'll be kind of interesting to see this game, honestly. It's a 325 game, so there's a chance we'll be able to pick it up in Kansas City. Next game is going to be Pittsburgh at Green Bay. I think Pittsburgh is a good football team, but not a great football team. We saw Ben Roethlisberger struggle. They do have some weapons, but they're just missing a lot. TJ Watt, is still kind of recovering from his groin injury. Green Bay is coming off a huge win, and I just think Green Bay really kind of puts it to him in this game. I think Green Bay, it's in Lambeau Field as well. I picked the over on this one of 44 or 45.5. I just think Green Bay kind of feast and sends Big Ben home. The final game of Sunday is going to be Tampa at New England. Brady is returning. Let's be real. Tampa has some incredible weapons. Brady's going to be so motivated. The crowd's going to be insane, but I don't think New England has everything that, Tampa's bringing to the football game. And I picked the under of 48.5. I do believe Tampa will win this football game, and Brady will get the best of Bill Belichick on Sunday Night Football. Monday is going to be the Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. This is going to be an incredible, incredible game. A undefeated team versus a 2-1 team. After seeing how the Chargers played the Kansas City Chiefs, I just think that with Justin Herbert kind of stepping up, Keenan Allen, Williams doing good, Austin Eckler's kind of still having his games, and the defense is being pretty good. I would have to go ahead and say the Chargers win this game and give the Raiders their first loss. This is going to be in SoFi. I just think that the Chargers can squeak this one out. I would not be, surprised if the Raiders do pull this out, because I think the Raiders have really upgraded their defense, and I think what they have is pretty solid. I just think a lot of the time it comes down to Derek Carr and his mistakes, overthrowing receivers, Josh Jacobs, I do believe, is still questionable, so that means Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber are going to be your backs. But we've seen a lot of people step up. Hunter Renfrow has really been incredible for the Raiders, and it's going to come down to Derek Carr and his performance. So I did pick the over on this of 52.5. I think that it might come down to a scoring battle, but those are my picks. So I will recap. I picked the Bengals. I picked the Washington football team. I picked the Bills. I picked the Cowboys. I picked the Lions. I picked the Dolphins, the Browns, the Saints, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Broncos, the Packers, the Bucks, and to wrap out Monday Night Football, I picked the LA Chargers. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. It means a lot. It really does. The support has been incredible. Thank you so much. Again, where is my list? I'm 32-16 going into week 4. Hopefully with these picks, we continue to really spread out the wins versus the losses. And we'll just see where we're at come week 4. So I really do appreciate all the support, and I appreciate you checking out the Beat of KC. As always, have a good day.